Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Common Good Podcast. Right back where we belong. Tuesday mornings, just after 9 a.m. Central Time. All is right with the world in the podcasting corner of the Common Good.
That's a bold statement to say that all is right in the world.
Inside the Vote Common Good podcasting.
Except it's not. Except it's not.
Okay,
I
Debbie.
mean, because you said right before we went on, maybe we should just have people chime in on this. What color is Doug's shirt?
Yeah.
This could be the great internet meme. Like, what color is the dress? You know, is it black and white, or is it, I don't know, gold and something? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's totally bizarre because when I look down, it is a near on lime green. It is a very bright, velour-y white or light colored green. And on the screen, it's just
full on tan.
I must have some color setting somewhere here that is muting my. Maybe it's trying to. Maybe I set up something to deal with my blotchy skin, and maybe I have some softening effect on it. It's like, hey, let's knock down the sharp.
Yeah,
colors.
it's always interesting to me, like the ads that I get on the social medias.
Mm-hmm.
What the algorithm thinks I need. And lately I have been getting two ads. I've been getting ads for some kind of nanotechnology spray contraption that is supposed to like take away cigar breath.
You're not sure why you're getting that?
Well,
I can smell it from here.
I started getting that after a friend and I were talking about his cigar breath and how his new girlfriend does not like his cigar breath.
Oh.
And then those ads started. And then I have been getting
So just so you're tapping a little bit into the edges of the theory that your phone listens to you and then sends that recording somewhere.
100%. 100%.
That's not
absolutely happening. It's 100% happening. And then number two, I started getting ads for like men's cover up makeup to hide their rosacea. Which is a conversation I've never had with anyone, a Google search I have never made.
Well,
yeah. But I mean, maybe it's from,
then where could that
maybe it's from you, Doug, because maybe it's from you for your your settings for your skin blotches, as you say.
Yeah, could be my my blotch filter. Yeah, absolutely. I was off in Chicago this weekend. Got to see some people who follow the podcast. Thanks to you for all of you for coming. And I went to a little guitar event one day, which was put on by a bunch of people that I follow in the little weirdo guitar world. It was at the Old Town Folk Center, really beautiful complex in downtown Chicago in Lincoln Park area. And it's all the super nerdery stuff, luthiers and there were seminars going on the sustainability of tone woods with the founder of Taylor Guitars and the man whose grandfather started Martin Guitars. Chris Martin is there. Anyway, so it's super nerdy stuff. And a few of the people that I follow in the podcast YouTube world about guitar were there.
Were you a little starstruck?
No.
Starstruck?
No, what I was struck by, because these people just have, I don't know, they have some measure more viewers than we do, subscribers, but
no, that can't be.
But they're nowhere close to, famous,
Right.
Niches on YouTube and the internet have much bigger followings than
as a friend of mine said the other day that she described herself as Springdale famous.
Totally. Yes. Or you could be famous in, small plastic figurines or particular old 1957 to 69 flexible buses that I've been hunting down for our freedom ride that we're going to be going on. There's a whole world of that. Seminars and conferences and festivals and look who's going to be here, you know, so and so. So anyway, it was full of that kind of stuff. One of the guys that I follow, Josh from JHS Pedals, my height.
Oh.
Full-sized. Another person I follow, Corey Giglio, Danny Strong height.
Oh, fun size.
5'4". Both of these people I interact with only on my screen.
Yeah.
And everyone looks roughly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get into 3D world and you're like, whoa, okay. Yeah. It's a whole different look at whoa. So I was experiencing that walking around. And I know as a tall person that I see people respond to my height when they like to other people around them, you know?
Like, oh, you're tall.
We do this kind of stuff. You know, they point over, I can see them slide next to me. So they're standing there and then their friend takes their phone. You know, I'm not freakishly tall.
Yeah.
But, you know, I rank up there, especially if I put a hat on, a pair of shoes with a little heel in them. You know, people are like, wow, that could be one of the taller people I've ever stood next to. So I get a lot of that. So these people were getting that. But it was delightful. Chicago, what a world-class city. The weather was just perfect. We had a screening of our documentary. I spoke at a church. We got a lot of work done on the tour. So we're ready to go on the road. We're going to be hitting the road. This weekend started it, and now we're home kind of getting packed up, and we will go. I'll show you the bus in a second, friends. You can see it. We will we'll be out on the road going down to Decorah, Iowa to work with a candidate running for Congress there named Lindsey James. Then we'll hustle over to join a faith leader action in Springfield, Ohio, where the community there, the Haitian community, has asked for faith leaders to descend on their city in what was referred to as part of the Minneapolis model. So a bunch of faith leaders are going to be showing up in Springfield, and we're going to be there with our bus come Sunday morning. And then we're down to the Wild Goose Festival, and then we're into I don't know, Tennessee somewhere. And then we go to Laredo,
Arkansas.
Texas, where we've been invited to go to Laredo, Texas to stand with the people there on the border to oppose Trump. So lots of things coming. If you follow this podcast at all, get on our website, get on our
and really burying the lead
list.
Arkansas.
And then
coming to Arkansas.
Then we come home to Springdale, Arkansas, and Bentonville, and Hot Springs, and I don't know, wherever else we drive through on our way.
Not Hot Springs.
Do you know where how we're driving? You know, we're driving through Hot Springs on our way from wherever Tennessee down
to Laredo. Yeah,
it's quite likely. Maybe we should coordinate that and you just swing over and we just do a little quickie on the side of the road.
Hot Springs. You know? Hot Springs is many hours away from where I live.
It's even further from where I live, but I'm driving there. Come on over.
But if you're in Hot Springs, you need to do a little side of the bus conversation with Dr. Chris Jones, not with me.
Okay, I'll do it. What about what about like how far is it from your house? Roughly 3 to 3 hours and 20 minutes?
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah, 3
somewhere.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yes.
Somewhere in the window.
3 hours and 19 minutes.
Hey, also, just one more thing on since we're plugging stuff. Our documentary will go live on pbs.com and the PBS app September 1st and start airing. And Rob, if you can believe this,
amazing.
In the first 18 days, September 1st to September 18th, which is all we have data for the programming schedule, 430 screenings on PBS channels on 178 stations.
Amazing.
Covering 70% of the U.S. population in those zones. And we're not even in some of the places we really want to be. So
that is just
grab
fantastic.
your local listings of your PBS, or if you're a PBS member.
Not a thing anymore.
You know what is shocking is how much it is. I can't tell you. I mean,
you can't tell me.
How many people? We sent out a little email with just a little screen thing of all the showings, and people are like, I click on it. I can't see where the screenings are, where the showings are. I'm like, just go to your PBS station and look it up. But anyway, we have a new little website that has a watch thing on it. You can put your information in. But here's burying the lead before we get to some things in Arkansas. We'll just talk over the bus. Rob, I got to go pick up the bus yesterday.
Yes.
Hey, how come that's not playing? What's going down? I don't know what's happening. Pardon me, everybody.
Well, listen. While you're trying to figure that out, let me.
You talk about that.
I'll vamp a little bit. Let me tell you. It's hot here in Arkansas. It is crazy hot. We have had over 100 degrees for weeks on end, and there's no stoppage in sight, and it is absolutely miserable. It's hot. It is hot. I mean, it's so hot that like when it's 95, it feels like, oh, that's noticeably cooler.
It's light and airy.
Oh my goodness, it's absolutely miserable.
We Doug, we get that on the other side of the
Doug,
the
spectrum. your partner in life, occasionally mentioned on the podcast, Shelly. Does she move stuff around in your home?
Just my stuff.
For furniture, decor.
No, not as much.
Paintings on the walls.
No.
Are you're more of the move the furniture around?
Yeah, like we moved a couch and swapped out couches and stuff the other day, and it was all my initiative, not hers. And
yeah,
before I leave on Friday to go hit the road, she's like, "Hey, we got to put all this stuff back."
She didn't like the changes.
It didn't work. It's not what we wanted. We decided.
Yeah, I am married to someone who likes to move things around, and wow, it's happening right now in my house. And I walked into my bedroom yesterday and realized that I had lost the top of my dresser.
Oh,
the dresser is still mine. The clothes are still in the drawers and everything, but all of my little, goods and chattel that were on top of it, a couple little pictures from our honeymoon, a humidor, a few little here.
All right, I fixed it.
Yeah. I walked in.
Just gone.
And that dresser now has a whole host of Vanessa's books on it and other things. And I looked over at her dresser and it's still covered in her things.
Unchanged.
Yeah. And then I saw that my stuff had been moved to the top of a little desk. It's one of those like desks with like the fold out, thing. And so the top of it is very small. I went from like a full dresser to like a little shelf.
Message couldn't be clearer, Rob. I don't know. I don't know if you're missing it. Hey, before I ask you about the heat in Arkansas, I updated the video. The Vote Common Good bus was picked up yesterday.
Look at that thing of beauty.
There it is.
This is Good Force 1.
Wrapped in faith, hope, and love, supporting democracy for all. You can see a little bit there that it says all aboard Good Force 1.
Amazing.
Just fun little name that Robb Ryerse gave to our mighty bus. And there
Good
it is.
Force,
then you come around to this side.
Funny. Oh, and this is the showstopper because you don't expect the black.
No,
boom.
Look at this. Now it has the branding for the Who's the We documentary, a cross-country border ride of discovery. Available, you can see it in the corner there on pbs.org, which I think in this podcast they even call it pbs.com. I have to stop doing that. I don't know how to stop doing it. I just keep doing it. So there it is. That's one of the vehicles we're going to be rolling. We're going to be out on the road Friday and coming around. So if you find us on the road, sign it. If you go to our website and make a donation and put in there that you want your name on the bus, we will have someone sign on your behalf if you can't make it. And Rob, we're going to be rolling that bus right into your little town.
Yeah, it's great. It's really like limited of where you can sign to the front and back and the one side.
No, I got white
ya?
and silver
Yeah.
markers.
Fantastic.
Woke up
Love it.
2 days ago in Chicago, like 4 in the morning, 4:30
Yeah.
in the morning, because I don't know, bladder or whatever. And right when I was sort of waking up, I was like, we don't have those markers.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I'd just hop on an internet site at 4:30 in the morning and start making purchases. But they're on their way. They'll be here Wednesday.
Doug, let me tell you,
Rob,
not about the
when we roll into Arkansas, what's going to be the political climate that we're rolling into there when we're there?
Let me tell you, things are hot here in Arkansas. Not just the weather, but the Arkansas Democrats. Doug, listen, polling got released in Arkansas last week. Polling in Arkansas. So the Talk Business Politics poll conducted in conjunction with Hendrix College here in Arkansas. Doug, just for context, Donald Trump won Arkansas with 64% of the vote.
Man, that's got to be one of the higher percentages in the country.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Donald Trump's approval rating now in the state of Arkansas is his disapproval rating. Let me say it this way. His disapproval rating statewide, 53%.
Disapproval.
55% disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling the economy, and 56% disapprove of the way that Donald Trump is handling the war in Iran.
Wow.
Here
what are they finding in the polling of how that's going to impact people selecting members of his party?
In my district, District 3, Donald Trump's disapproval rating is at 60%.
Wow.
60% disapprove and 64% disapprove of how he's handling the economy and how he's handling the war in Iran.
Wow.
Now, what does that mean in terms of electoral politics?
That it's yours to win unless you blow it, unless you Cleveland Browns this thing in the final 2 minutes.
Don't talk to me about the Cleveland Browns. Don't talk. I am so angry at the Cleveland Browns right now.
Really?
I am. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to rearrange their dresser top in your own way?
I'm not happy. In terms of electoral politics, so there are 3 statewide candidates that were polled in this poll. Fred Love, who's running for governor, is 5 points behind Sarah Huckabee Sanders, 45-40.
Fred Love.
Yeah, Fred's a great guy, state senator. 45-40. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is only polling at 45%
in a re-election bid.
Yeah.
In Arkansas.
Secretary of State Kelly Grapp, who's running against a guy named Kim Hammer, and Kelly is the greatest. She's 3 points behind. And in the U.S. Senate race between Hallie Schaffner and Senator Tom Cotton, Hallie Schaffner is ahead by 3 points, 47-44.
Wow. It has been a generation since Democrats in Arkansas have, even at this point, even if things tighten or change or whatever, have been seen in competitive statewide races.
Hallie Schaffner is ahead of Tom Cotton, 47-44.
He does have that long neck, and I'm afraid he's going to sneak it out right at the end and just cross the finish line.
I mean, and polls are just a snapshot in time.
Sure.
Of, here in my district, District 3, all 3 of the statewide Democrats are leading in my district.
And so people know, to be clear, polling is expensive and it's complicated. And often these polls, like the ones you're talking about that are doing statewide races, Senate races involve the whole state. Governor's races.
Yeah, I just spilled a cup of coffee all over my desk.
They don't. Those same pollsters don't often poll the congressional races in each of those those states. Is that right? Yeah, because
now
it's
they did
complicated and expensive and
yes, they did poll District 2 where Dr. Chris Jones is running against French Hill
because they think that's the most likely to flip. Is that the pollster's idea?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And in that poll, Chris Jones is up by 4 points. Amazing. Which is more than his internal poll, which had him up by 3 points.
So, Rob, one of the things people ask me about your race, they're like, "Hey, how's it going? And how do you think Rob's going to do in his race?" And I've said, well, for a lot of these candidates in states like Arkansas that might be experiencing some shift, winning the race is important. Yes. And moving voters into voting for Democrats across the state becomes really important. And building out an infrastructure of support for democracy supporting candidates is really important. And a lot of people tend to believe that the only measure is, did you win the race or did you not win the race? Not did you expand the party, did you bring more people in? Because if you draw a bunch of people in who vote for you and then also vote for Democrats on other parts of the ballot who they may not know or be paying as much attention to, somebody could win a Senate race or a state auditor's race or a governor's race and you don't win your race, or it could go the other way. You win your race, but it doesn't spread the other way. This is often called coattails and push-ups and push-downs that people follow this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But that's a big part of it, right? I mean, are you thinking about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are desperately trying to break the supermajority in our state legislature. And we have 3 of the most competitive state legislative races are in my district.
Wow.
And so it's not just about me.
Yeah.
It's about getting those folks elected too, to help break the supermajority in Little Rock. And it's the same thing on, we've got a county system with justices of the peace that are a part of the quorum court. And it's the same thing with those. Same thing with our county judge races. Like, all of these things impact each other. And there's lots of different ways that we measure, success. But I got to tell you, this gives us in the midst of the, politics can be so discouraging. And people get their hopes up at times, and then their hopes are crashed. And I've talked about the emotional whiplash that, I felt, in 2024 when we were, in Philadelphia. The Iowa poll had come out. We had the most viral ad of the campaign season. And man, we were on our way to victory, and 2 days later, Donald Trump wins, and just the emotional whiplash of that was hard. People get, they've got to steel themselves against that.
Yeah, I'm feeling it sickened right now. You just
what
body's keeping the score.
That's right.
Trump won.
What polls like this do, though, is they give a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of momentum, a lot of okay, the work that we're doing is making a difference. We're not saying, we're not looking at the scoreboard in the third quarter and saying we won the game. What we're saying is, hey, every indication of these polls is this is a game. And
so
we're
saying there's a chance.
So I'm saying there's a chance. So all that to say, need money now more than ever. Anybody out there want to, throw some heavy cash at this campaign? This is the time, because we have a legitimate shot to flip seats in Arkansas.
And you could imagine that people across the country see a change starting to happen now. And then in 2028, they want even a deeper change. And you start to see that the rolling back of these just unthinkable levels of failures of this administration. I mean, just broken promises. Just the guy doesn't care. I don't know how you start wars that you can't win. It is, I mean, from a Jesus parable, make sure you're going to win before you start a war.
Yeah,
all the way up to modern military theory.
Figure out. I mean, this Jesus stuff, like you know, Jesus did say something about like, hey, if you're going to build a building, you probably ought to know how much it's going to cost on the front end.
Yeah.
And make sure you've got enough money for that.
Yeah.
These are just simple life lessons that Donald Trump could take from Jesus.
Just sort of how it goes. Modern military theory would say, if you're the most powerful military force ever, you only engage in military conflicts that are to your benefit and that you will be victorious in.
Yeah.
If you have the most powerful global economy ever, you only engage in hostile trade wars that you're going to benefit from and that you're going to win. This isn't even hard to imagine. And Donald Trump has managed to fail on both of them. His buddies in Russia are saying no to him about stopping the war that they're waging against Ukraine. His buddies in Israel are saying no to him about the war that they are waging on the people of Gaza. He kidnapped a guy from Venezuela and thinks he's G.I. Joe. But this is how a bone-spurred-ridden man commands our military forces.
Yeah.
And then the economy, and all he's talking about is the helipad and the ballroom. And I mean, look, God bless you, Trump supporters. I'm sure the head scratching is going to cause a contusion for you trying to figure out what 4D chess is this guy now playing, where it is just so raucously horrible what he's doing at every living turn. And then, Rob, here, we'll pop this one up now. This feels like a good time. You sent this over this morning. You're following the man on the
Donald Trump this morning. Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, the United States is giving serious consideration to changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America. In that we don't expect to doing much business with Ontario any longer. To be doing, I think he left out a word, as we all do. It's okay. Thank you for your attention. Natalie needs to work on her typing, though, apparently. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. So this comes in the midst of this trade war with Canada. Donald Trump, I don't even know how or why this got started, but we have levied a 50% tariff on Canadian goods coming into the United States. And Canada has responded in kind. And now the leader of the province of Ontario is saying that, they might limit electricity coming into the United States from Canada.
They are going to, yes. And it's going
to as well as,
be a real problem.
The minerals we need, nickel in particular, that are processed in Ontario. And Donald Trump's response to this is, oh, yeah? Yeah? Well, we're going to rename the lake.
We're going to call that lake by different words. Take that. We are. Because you know what, Donald Trump? Renaming a lake has nothing to do with anyone but us.
Right.
Renaming the Gulf of Mexico doesn't make anybody else call it the Gulf of America. You are literally starting trade wars and then saying the punishment we're going to put on our trade war enemy is we're going to call the lake by another name. It's so profoundly unserious.
Yes, Doug, it's like if you are a homeowner and your house gets mold in it, as yours did, and instead of digging in and dealing with the mold that's inside the walls, you decide to change the paint color in the room.
Or you decide to call it another color.
Right. It's
it's just words. He's literally saying we have an economic conflict with a country and then with a territory in that country that provides for, and if we don't get what we want, because we're such brilliant negotiators, we're going to use a different word when we talk about the lake. That has no impact on the province of Ontario.
Yeah.
I don't think Donald Trump he must not know that when he retitles a body of water, other countries don't also call it that. And if they did, they wouldn't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, truly.
Now, Doug, listen, I have been to Lake Ontario. I have swam. I went swimming.
I think it's the past tense of swum.
Swummed. Yeah, I swummed in Lake Ontario. I have water skied on Lake Ontario.
And you, sir?
It will always be Lake Ontario to me.
As I am with the Gulf of Mexico, for sure. Okay, and here's the thing about all this. You can say, and it's true, we've all missed a word when typing a social post. I missed an R.
Sure. Yeah, Natalie missed one here.
Yeah. Had to go back.
Yeah, totally.
These are not social posts. These are presidential statements. He has declared it. The Supreme Court has acknowledged it. These are not simply an old guy writing a social post. This is President Donald J. Trump making a presidential statement. And it is taken with such lack of seriousness that no one proofreads it, not only for the letters used, but for the words used and for the meaning of the words. And the reason it's worth us talking about is because this is the waste of presidential power.
Yes.
The executive of the executive branch of our government is given extraordinary power. We'll talk about what the Supreme Court just ruled on this mail-in voting thing in a minute, which is not nearly as bad as the internet wants us to believe that it is. But
I look forward to hearing your take on that because I think it's terrible.
It's all built around presidential power.
Wait, yeah, we'll talk. Yes, there are real problems that exist in the United States of America. There are real issues that are happening. Like people are actually struggling in their lives to make ends meet. We have an economic crisis that we're in the middle of.
Yes.
We have a war happening. We have American troops dying overseas. And Donald Trump is going to spend time on Lake Ontario
and starting a trade war with
how do you not get along with Canada? Doug, how do you not get along? Canadians are like famously the nicest people in the world.
And everything about a relationship with Canada economically is to the benefit of the United States and Mexico.
Yeah.
Having a North American bloc that functions as a unit can be a very good thing. We have not taken advantage of it in the North American Free Trade Agreements or the other acronyms that are now basically the North American Free Trade Agreement. But we could. What you don't want is to be fighting with your neighbors. Why are you picking? And then you pick wars, then you lose, and Americans are going to be paying more for energy, be paying more for meat, they're going to be paying more for grain, and your response is, we will hereby use another word when we refer to Lake Ontario. There.
Well, that showed them.
We're going to call the lake by a different name.
So stupid. Here's
when
another
did Donald
thing,
Trump become so fixated on cartologists and the opinion of the cartologists? What do the map makers say when they refer to that body of water?
Yeah.
Nobody. Look, did anybody care other than the absurdity of Donald Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America? Nobody cared. And you know what's going to happen on the 21st of January, 2029? It's going to go back. And people will just giggle like when they called the Kennedy Center the Trump Center.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just. I just.
Now, Doug,
go on.
to bring a couple of stories together.
Okay, I got. This is a great comment. Just wait until we start our blockade on the Strait of America. Good one. Thank you, Ajax on. Good line.
That's a good one. Let's bring a couple stories together. Right. One of the pieces of news from this weekend is that Donald Trump announced that he is he's going to import an absurd amount of beef into the United States because beef prices are too high, and he needs to give the American herd a chance to like recover. This beef is going to be coming into the United States tariff free from places like Venezuela. And he says that what it will do is it will be available at 25% below market price in grocery stores. Doug, I thought foreign countries paid tariffs. I didn't know, people buying meat in their store would be, if this beef is going to have no tariffs on it and it's going to then be 25% cheaper, doesn't it seem to indicate that the tariffs make things more expensive for consumers?
Sure seems that way.
Yeah.
Why can America not provide its own beef? Donald Trump, where's the beef? Remember that little callback to a presidential debate? Where's the beef? Why do we have to go to Venezuela and beg them to give us cheap beef? Why can't we beef ourselves in America under your administration? Because when Joe Biden was president, you know what I was eating? American beef.
Now, I've really cut back on a lot of my red meat. I'm not eating nearly as much red meat as I did previously because of, the gout. And, so,
How much were you?
Not that much. I don't even know. I eat very, very little now.
So you don't, it's not going to impact you if you're having to chew on some 25% discounted slough off beef from Venezuela. Venezuela actually has great beef.
Here's the other thing.
Great ranchers.
Here's the other thing. The American people should not be put in this position where we are like our ability to have cheap beef directly harms American beef producers, family farms.
It's going to completely harm them.
We shouldn't have to choose between, like, hey, do I want to help my neighbor or do I want cheap beef? You know, like Donald Trump's policy is making us pick and choose between.
Yeah,
it is just utterly unhelpful and will backfire in.
Let's just think about this for a minute. If a pound of beef costs, let's say it this way, if an amount of beef costs $1 for an American producer, and then beef comes in from Venezuela with government backing to manipulate the market, and was it a 20% reduction?
25.
25. So now that meat's going to cost 75 cents. And we're going to do this for some period of time. I'm sure Trump has said some short period of time. Everybody starts paying 75 cents for this portion of beef. This government-backed welfare of Venezuela's economy stops. U.S. producers who had been charging and had a long-term budget built around $1 for this portion of beef now either has to raise the price on the American people from 75 cents a unit to $1 a unit, or they have to reduce how much they're going to be selling the meat for because we artificially lowered the value of beef. And the thing is, Trump will have to do this on every single issue. He's now going to have to run around because now these tariffs have been in place. I mean, the guy's only been destroying the country in the second term for a year and a half. These things are just now starting to impact the American people. I mean, he gave some company, was it Costco or Apple or Target or somebody, got $1 billion payback for all the tariffs they've been paying. The federal government gave them back the money because other countries don't pay the tariffs. American countries pay the tariffs. So now we have to take money that then the companies paid and then the government held on to it for a while and then they gave it. Why are we not doging all of this nonsense?
Yeah.
Talk about the waste. Let's raise prices on everything that it takes to produce beef, and then let's lower prices of the beef that's going to be coming in the country, and let's just manipulate every part of the free economy. Because you know what we don't want? Socialism in our economy. What kind of government do they do they function in economy? Do they function in Venezuela? Do you remember? I'm trying to remember what they call that. Oh, yeah. It's a socialist economy. Our government is paying for part of your meat, giving you a meat subsidy to buy money from a socialist country so that you can be free. Freedom Burgers, brought to you by the socialists of Venezuela. It's just,
Doug,
look, every single thing this guy does, truly, across the board. And if there's a Trump friend, family member, listener to this thing that wants to say one thing the guy has done that has made America better in this term, one, I would love to hear it because I regularly search the internet and even ask AIs to tell me what is something that Donald Trump has done in this term that universally we can all say, well, that was a good thing. Have you done that search?
No.
I mean, at least a while back, it was like prison reform. Remember when they pulled that one off in the first term, in the first couple months of the first term? It was like, okay, Well done, everybody. America can do great things. Now what do? We like kidnap a guy from Venezuela, then we fund them to give us cheaper beef, and then we raise the price of energy from Canada, and then we rename lakes and bodies of water.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to rename the reflecting pool?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy's obsession with bodies of water is really something. Doug, the reaction to this beef situation and Trump's new policy has been interesting. It has been panned by, those of us that think that Donald Trump, can do no right, in a lot of ways. It's also been deeply criticized by the beef producers. And
you think?
And now here's the thing. Beef producers in large numbers are Trump supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted on Facebook about this, I think on Sunday, and the reaction, the comments to, what I said on social media about this, because my thought is we shouldn't be doing things that harm American beef producers in some, vague attempt to placate American consumers. And that's what Donald Trump has done. Proving, by the way, that tariffs are paid by consumers. The reaction that many people have had, many non-Trump supporters, has been, well, this is what they voted for.
Yeah.
Tough noogies, like you're stuck with it. And I want to say a couple of things. One is, listen, I fully believe in what your former senator said, Paul Wellstone, who said, we all do better when we all do better. Like, I don't think, like, celebrating American family farms being harmed is helpful. Like, this is not like it. I understand the, like, what's that German word? The
Freudenfugen?
Yeah, whatever it is. Of it.
Freudenfargen,
but I don't.
Freudenfargen? Did I get that right?
Yeah, whatever that word. Someone knows what that word is. Yabbits knows what that word is. I understand the sense of like, hey, I'm gonna, like, hey, you're getting what you paid for. But at the same time, like, these are our neighbors. These are American citizens. These are people that like that. I don't know. We should not celebrate in them being harmed by this, doofus in the White House just because they voted for him. The other thing I want to say is, listen, these folks that voted for Trump that end up being harmed by his policies.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen this happen not just with the beef producers now, but we've seen it happen with, people whose spouses or families have been deported by ICE, and they're like, I didn't think it was going to be my family.
Yep.
And like we've seen this happen. Business owners who have been negatively affected by the tariffs. We've seen military folks who are now have their family members fighting in Iran for no reason. We have had these stories.
Yep.
Are happening where people are saying, wait a minute, this isn't what I voted for, or I deeply regret my vote.
The Trump boys getting a bank charter for their crypto bank.
Yeah.
Like the bank charter people have given like 0 bank charters in 12 years, then just happen to give one to this guy. So you know who it's working well for? Some people Donald Trump knows.
The Trumps.
And groceries are expensive, so let's lower the price of beef.
Yeah.
What about eggs? Remember, Rob? I mean, all the people telling us, if democracy's going to suffer and I can get a cheaper egg, great. Well, now democracy is being assaulted and eggs are more expensive. But you know what it was never about? The eggs.
Yeah. I want to say
if this election doesn't go the way it should go, I'm gonna write a very strongly worded social post that says I told you it wasn't about grocery prices. I will rename a post. I might rename the pond down at the end of my street if the election doesn't go the way we want. I hereby declare it East Lake.
Lake Pagitt. Duke Lake. Those of you that have been Trump supporters in the past that are now feeling a little squeamish about it, maybe you're reconsidering. I just want to tell you it's okay. Like, please, go ahead and reconsider. Like, it's all right. We all make mistakes in our lives. We all have votes we regret for one reason or another. We all have things that we have done or we've said that we deeply regret. We have all done things that have brought great harm onto other people.
Yeah.
In one way or another. And
we've never done what you did, but we've done things.
Not helping, Doug. Not helping.
Of course, we've all bought guitars that we thought we loved, and then we got home, and then we decided we should have brought it back, and then it's okay. But you don't have to just keep saying to yourself, no, there was no other choice. It's okay.
Yeah.
And here's the great thing about American electoral politics, because there are very good things about American electoral politics.
Every 2 years, you get a chance to, do something different.
And in places where Republicans are resigning from office because of their misdeeds, you get it even more frequently than every 2 years. You get special elections coming your way. So it's okay. We've got one coming in November. There's a lot we need to do. Now, can we talk a little bit about this mail-in voting ruling from the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Supreme Court lifted an injunction that a lower court put on a Trump
executive order.
Thank you. Executive order, which the executive order said that the post office will only deliver mail-in ballots to addresses of people who are declared to be eligible to vote.
Yes. The rule is that some department in the federal government will provide postal service offices with a list of people who are not eligible to vote. And if there is a ballot that comes addressed to them, they're to not deliver that ballot. Yeah. And those are for the states that have shared voter information with the federal government. For the 20 or so quote unquote blue states that have not shared, they will stop all of the mail-in ballots.
So states sued, said this is going to create great harm. A judge said, well, I agree. Here's a stay. Appealed it up to the Supreme Court, did the Trump administration. The Supreme Court said, on procedural grounds, states don't yet have a right to say that harm will be done. It's too soon. So we're going to lift the stay, and then when the time comes and the process is implemented, Then we will look at the merits of the case. So what has happened so far is the Supreme Court has said, we don't have a case yet. And this is just a part of the legal system. You can't sue someone for something you say is going to happen that's going to adversely affect someone. You can sue the government when something bad has happened. It's a flaw in our system for some people's imagination, but that's the rule. So what the Supreme Court said was not Donald Trump is right, he can do whatever he wants. What they said was the states don't yet have a right to contest this in this court. When that time comes, another set of lawsuits will be implemented and another set of conditions will have to be met. So we don't know at all what the Supreme Court's decision is on the merits of this executive order. We only know that they ruled on a procedural issue that it was too soon. So we have a very sophisticated legal system in this country, and there are people working on it all the time. Don't freak out ahead of time. This is not the thing to freak out about. This is the progressive and democracy supporting legal advocates staying in front of the Supreme Court all of the time. And when the time comes and they put some policy in place like you described, and they say, oh, now we're going to say that states that didn't share, we're going to direct the Postal Service to not deliver any ballots in those states. Harm will be done. Second one, injunction, court cases, stalled out. That's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to go. Legal experts understand this. You know who's not freaking out about this? The legal experts. Legal experts are actually saying things like, I mean, the ones who think that this is a terrible executive order and is going to be overturned are saying, this isn't a thing to worry about. The Supreme Court is saying, we'll get to it the minute we need to rule on it. But right now, there is no plaintiff that has yet been harmed. That's my understanding of what's happened, of what this lifting of the injunction meant from the Supreme Court. If I'm wrong, tell us about it in the chat, as they say.
Yeah, I hear you. It's significant to me.
Titanic pre-iceberg, full speed ahead. We haven't hit it yet. Everything seems fine.
Let's go.
I can see the iceberg up there. Yeah, but we haven't hit it yet, so I'm not backing up till we hit it. Good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
I hear what you're saying. Part of my hesitation in sharing your lack of pessimism about this decision
a good way to say it. Lack of pessimism
is that all three of the quote unquote liberal justices dissented.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say they did not have this opinion that the states did not yet have standing.
Mm-hmm.
They did not share that opinion. It was the conservative majority of the court that held that. And so that's what gives me pause. I hear what you're saying, Doug. I also can see that like part of what the job of a court should be is to like look at these things and say like, this isn't consistent with the Constitution. This like the federal government should not be telling states how to administer their elections. They should not be interfering in this. 29% of people in the last election voted by mail-in voting. Doug, the thought that the potential that a third of Americans could be disenfranchised by this is,
Yeah,
and in
that's not going to
particular,
happen. This is the whole thing, is
but
that is
but
not what the court.
when does the injury happen? It's
As soon
does
as the
the injury as soon as it's implemented?
Yes, as soon as see, at this point, the executive order, here's the thing about how executive orders work. Executive orders are made, and then they're handed off to a committee of people that have to put policy in place related to that executive order. And at this point, the policies are only vaguely referenced as to how the post office or how Homeland Security is going to make the handoff of information. Once it becomes clear that what you're describing is going to happen, that is when the court can rule this is going to disenfranchise people. Look, if someone believes that the majority members of the Supreme Court will not be convinced that disenfranchising a third of the American population from the election is something they will find unconstitutional, well, then we're all done. In my view, we're just that's that. Okay, so why are we arguing about an injunction?
Call it Lake America, and it's over.
Just that's it. It doesn't exist anymore. Like, yeah, no, they so much want this one party to win this one election, they will make sure that a third of the country can't vote.
Okay. Well,
I mean, if that was the case, let's just go play a G chord. Let's just move on, everybody. But I don't think, and I just want to say that's not even what the conservatives said here. This was an administrative response from the Supreme Court. Also, we give extraordinary power in our government to the executive branch, which Democrats have rarely wanted to use and Republicans have overused and overstepped. There is something innovative and creative about using an executive order to tell the post office what it can do. And that then has to be proven to violate the state's sovereignty. I think the three justices who were opposed this lifting of the stay, I think they were saying what Yabitz made the state earlier. We see the Titanic coming, or we see the iceberg coming. Let's just do it now. What are we waiting around for?
Yeah. Why risk it?
Well, the conservatives, I think, would be saying, we're not risking it. We will smack it down as soon as it violates Constitution, but it's just not the time. I mean, look, the one thing we want is for the legal system to work the way it's supposed to work. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like when I first saw this, I freaked out too until I talked myself down from this. And then I'm like, do I want the Supreme Court being like, well, we really shouldn't do this, but on this one case, we're going to do something that really doesn't fit the standard of legal blah, 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 blah. No, you don't. If it happens in September and it gets smacked down and somebody in a state says, we can't send these ballots, we can't send these mail-in ballots, as soon as early voting starts and someone starts to send it and the policy is in place from the Trump administration to the post office. I mean, there are lawsuits lined up all over the country, ready to go. And lower courts are going to be smacking down injunctions. This is not going to happen. They are not going to block mail-in voting. And they're not going to disenfranchise the states that said they wouldn't share their voter rolls with the federal government. You know what is going to happen? Trump's going to say, mail-in ballots are totally invalid, and we tried to stop it, and these judges and these courts, and this is all. I do not believe that the Trump administration and the anti-democracy forces think that this is a legal win for them. This is a PR win for them. Well, the Supreme Court said we could do it, and then these lower judges said we couldn't, and then they're going to just confuse everybody, and they're going to gin all this up and say the reason I lost in 2020 was because so many states gave exceptions for people to use mail-in ballots, and they were all fraudulent, and that's why I lost. That's what this is about. Do you really think Donald Trump wants to fix mail-in voting? You really think that's what you think this guy is sitting around and being like, I really think that it's an ineffective way to. Donald Trump in some states wins the mail-in vote. Everything with this administration is cosplay. And they use it to damage America. That's what I think on this one. Now, if people don't fill out their ballots, if people don't show up and vote, trouble's a brewing. Yeah. Again, in 2024, the problem wasn't that Donald Trump got more votes than he got in 2020. It's that Kamala Harris got less than Joe Biden got.
Yep. Doug, can we end today on a lighter note? This is my favorite political story of the week.
It's so good.
It's out of Alaska. Alaskans, and this is coming from Yahoo News, originally published by, I don't know, the AP or something. I'm not sure. Alaskans have a choice. Vote for Dan Sullivan #1, or as Dan Sullivan #3 advises, Dan Sullivan #2.
It's so good.
The convergence of multiple people with the same first and last name has put a bizarre twist on the serious fight for the U.S. Senate seat in the midterm elections this November. On the Democratic side, it's easy. The candidate is named Mary Peltola. On the Republican side, the incumbent candidate is Senator Dan S. Sullivan.
Dan S. Sullivan.
He has plenty of money, President Donald Trump's backing. But he also has a problem. A man named Dan J. Sullivan, who also wants to run as a Republican. The party tried to force Dan J. out of the race, claiming the retired school teacher entered as a spoiler to confuse voters and draw support away from Dan S., thereby helping Peltola.
It's just so good.
Dan J. Sullivan is persisting, and Alaska's top court ruled last month that he can stay in the race.
Yeah.
Now, Senator Sullivan, that's Dan S., is getting help from a former Republican mayor of Anchorage, who is urging voters to stay focused and back the right guy.
And what's his name, the former mayor of Anchorage?
Dan A. Sullivan.
Just the greatest.
And this is the quote. As the OG Dan Sullivan, I urge Alaskans to vote for Dan S. Sullivan. He's been great for Alaska. And then there's the note. About 740,000 people live in Alaska. Gigantic territory, more than double the size of Texas. And the close Senate race will help determine which party controls Congress after the midterms. Is everybody named Dan Sullivan involved in this story in Alaska? Involved in this story? It's just so great.
I mean, if I'm going to find out something about mail-in voting in Alaska.
And they have ranked choice voting in Alaska, so you could vote. You could vote for both Dan Sullivans.
If there was a Dan Sullivan who wanted Mary Peltola to win, and he's like,
"Oh, get on it."
I could
Dan.
run as a Republican, and people would then vote for the wrong Dan Sullivan. Is the kind of thing that is like you're kind of screwing, like you're kind of cheating, and you're kind of trying to get people to have their vote not count because they thought they were voting for the other person, and then they actually are voting for you. And so, like on a pure democracy level, it's terrible. And on a stunt level, it is fantastic. It is just, everybody has a thing they can do. You know, as we say in Vote Common Good, you know, when you're living in a time of crisis, you don't do nothing, you do something. And that guy's like, well, here's what I could do. How much does it cost to get on the ballot?
I don't know.
I'll be Dan Sullivan. I mean, I hope he sends emails out and fundraising emails and
it's just so funny.
It is
so funny. And what are the chances?
What makes it funny is the third guy's named Dan Sullivan, right? That's
the thing that's just like, okay, that's too much.
So at this point, are they still in this primary thing in Alaska? Don't they push this thing until like
I don't
September
know.
or something? Can't remember.
I don't know. Some of these states are so late in their primaries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's like 2 left, I think. I can't remember where it is. I think one's in the Northwest or Northeast. And I think maybe it's Alaska.
Yeah.
And Peggy A says, vote for Mr. Sullivan.
And I would say, don't vote for Mary Peltola.
Yeah. The other thing is, if you don't want Dan Sullivan to be rewarded, just play it safe and don't vote for either Dan Sullivan.
Yeah.
If you're not sure which Dan Sullivan's, goofing on Elvis here, just skip them.
Vote for Mary.
Vote for Mary. But look, if just to be honest, if there were Republicans doing this to Democrats,
we would be pitching a fit.
It's like when your football quarterback took air. No, I'm just saying generically.
I don't want to talk about my quarterback because he's not my quarterback.
I'm using this generically. When the quarterback of a person's favorite team takes a little air out of the ball when they're playing at home, that's smart. When the other team does it, it's cheating.
That's right.
So, there's a lot of that in our politics. We just have to be straight about it. The thing over all the districts, all the states. Okay, I'm about to say something that will get me kicked out of the hearts of many current Democrats and progressives.
Oh.
I will be shunned. I will be sent to the corner.
You're about to be canceled.
I will be renamed.
Duke.
The war will come to my doorstep. Our American elections reflect the will of the people. And if we spend our time believing that the system is rigged, and what we really need to do is make sure that the system functions only in certain ways. As voters, if we think that's our job, there are people for whom that is their job. They are secretaries of state. They are they're election officials. They are governors. They are judges. They are lawyers. We are not. And if we talk ourselves into our elections don't reflect the will of our people.
Mm-hmm.
We have surrendered in advance. We've put ourselves in a prison of shadow bars.
Yep. And this is
walk right through them and turn out and vote and help the American people have a better vision of America. Our candidates need to do it. And frankly, there's a lot of candidates who think their only job is to demonize the other side to drive up their turnout. And we have to call each other to a better version of this whole country. And there are better versions. And it's so obvious with this totally corrupt, totally incompetent Republican Party that's currently in charge of many of our states, the majority of our states, and the complete run of the federal government. But that, in fact, is what the American people voted for in the last election.
Yeah.
And that is what the American people will vote against in this election.
Yes. Let's remember the key thing that was said in the, documents that Donald Trump released about election security. dropped in there was that little nugget that the most effective thing a foreign government could do is not interfere in American elections, but could get Americans to believe that they interfered in American elections. It is critical for us to do everything we can to ensure election security, make sure people are not disenfranchised, and it is absolutely critical for us to get people registered and out to vote. Like that's what we've got to do.
And to get the people who are already registered and going to vote for a Democrat this time.
Yeah.
Just remind your friends you're still you if you vote blue in this election. It's okay. Give it a try. You can always switch it back 2 years. It's a short-term car lease. Just a 2-year.
Yeah. And Ajax, which I think is out. I can't. I know we met at a town hall in Siloam Springs, looking to organize a canvassing event. Shoot a message on to me at rob@robforcongress.com, and we'll get you connected.
Because we'd love to come rolling up in good force 1 to Siloam Springs, just even for a little side road. Is that anywhere near where we're going to be, Rob, when we're there with you?
It's about 30 minutes away from where I live, 35 from Springdale.
For sure going there then, huh?
Right on the Oklahoma border. We could jump across to West Siloam Springs and put some money down at the casino.
Because we the people, in order to form a more perfect union and to establish peace and domestic tranquility and to provide for the common defense.
It's also a significant Christian university in Siloam Springs.
In our representative form of a republic.
Yeah.
That we use democracy as our voting pattern. Thank you, Peggy, for loving the bus. Peggy, I know you've signed the bus before. Let's have you sign the bus again. Dora, thank you for being in the chat. I was just chatting about you the other day, Dora. And in fact, Dora, I'm going to be in touch with you about something because the documentary is going to be airing in Arizona. We want to do a little thing together. All right, everybody. Is that good, Rob?
That's good.
Do we get through the?
I don't know.
Through the chitter chatties too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, in coming weeks, friends, we're going to be on the road. So I'm just saying the podcast, it's going to come from inside that bus. It's going to come from days and times that don't make
inside the bus.
It's inside the bus.
So stupid.
So stick with us because there's days we have other things. There's days we're driving. We can't do a podcast. Sometimes when we're driving, it gets loud. And so we have to be able to pull over. And Rob's going to be running for Congress and we're going to be running around and it's just a lot. So,
we got a lot,
but we're here with you, but we just have to do it in the flow. In fact, we're going to Silver Springs. We're going to Springfield, Ohio on Sunday. If you are anywhere near Springfield, Ohio, know anyone near Springfield, Ohio, the community of Haitians have asked for people to come to Springfield, Ohio, especially on Sunday, especially to make a deal about protecting Haitians when they go to church. We'll do a whole podcast about this from there when we're there, and the people who are being forced to wear ankle monitors and are being arrested, and they are, they've removed the protective status of Haitians by Trump's executive order, and now they're grabbing people and deporting them. It is un-American. It is terrible. It is violence. It is the same thing they did in Minnesota. They're doing it there, and they are willing to kill American citizens in order to keep their task going, and that's what we're going to go there to stand up against.
And just as a reminder, these are the same people that Donald Trump claimed during the election campaign that are eating pets,
eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Yeah.
Peggy, Dan is trying to work out if he can be there on that Sunday. But Clay might be there. Forrest Clay.
Oh.
Anyway, Ajax, thanks for thanking us for doing it every week. Thanks to all of you. Hey, lots of things. Follow Rob's campaign. By the way, Rob, Shelley asked me the other day. She said, "Who's doing Rob's like design marketing stuff?" She saw the table full of all the things, and she was like, "Wow, that stuff's really great." She's a big fan. Who does that stuff?
We've got a little combination. I do some of it, and then I've got a digital person, Lauren Seckington, who does a great job. And
the digital person does the things on the table. There were buttons or handouts or stickers or signs or something.
I probably did most of those.
Well done.
Yeah, we had a postcard writing party with about a dozen people. Yeah, about a dozen people were here and writing postcards to their neighbors. And we're Doug, here's what we're targeting with postcards. It's Democratic voters who vote in presidential elections but don't vote in midterms.
Wow.
Because, man, we need you now. We need you now. You show up every 4 years. We need you to show up this year. Please.
We need twice as much.
Yeah. And what's interesting about a postcard is, like so much political mail, you get it, you look at it, you flip it over, they all look alike, right?
Yeah.
But these are postcards. You look at it, you flip it over, and there's a handwritten note on there.
Unlegible, but still.
Yeah, nice. Totally. Handwritten note that catches your attention. You stop and you take a look at it, and it's from a neighbor saying, "Hey, need you to show up.
Yep, join me.
Let's do it,
America." All right. Well, thanks everybody, and care for each other.